wowzers, this deal rippling situation is pretty intense, pretty crazy. Highly recommend you read this complaint if you haven't already. But man, one of the things I really wanted to kind of talk about here is like, cool, we all know about the situation now. But what do you do? Like, how do you look for stuff like this? And I'd like to give a couple of quick tips because really this hits on a topic that I've been harping on for the last 2 years, which is the most underrepresented area for detection in any environment I've monitored recently. Or I've come into contact with recently at all, is search terms in SaaS applications. You can learn so much. You can detect so much bad things, not just from insider threats, but also from advanced threat actors who are using these same SaaS applications against you, just by monitoring what they're searching for, what they're viewing, and what they're exporting, and maybe a little bit about how they're exporting as well. But just to kind of highlight maybe one part of this that I think is really interesting, right? It's a big case with a lot of information in here. Obviously, this is all alleged, but the part I really wanted to come across here is like how do they understand what was going on in this situation? It was monitoring search terms, right? Deal in rippling systems on average 23 times a day over a 4-month period. And they're not just searching deal. I'm sure there was way more search terms involved in this than just searching deal. And they give another example of like, hey, in just one day, searches that this a person performed revealed a whole bunch of information, right? A whole bunch of companies that are requesting demos, some in-depth notes, companies that are involved in new deals, right? All this type of information is coming from that type of log source, right? Looking at search terms and SaaS applications. A quick pause on that front. Not every SaaS application was created equally. They don't all share search terms easy. Like for instance, Slack. You don't get search terms logged in that solution. Whereas in SharePoint, 365, Jira, like there are some other applications that are better about logging those things, and you can see them super well. So they must have seen these. If they're saying, "Man, we saw 23 times over a day over a 4-month period searching for this," it was probably way more than that too, because there's so many SaaS applications that just don't log this information quite yet. But again, like what is my thing I'm really trying to convey for everyone who wants to go find corporate espionage, insider threats, or even just advanced threat actors that happen to be using similar techniques, because that's what everybody does right now. They just go search in your SaaS applications to learn about your environment. Start monitoring those search terms. Right, you can go after the easy stuff, right? You look for people looking for confidential, like all these like DLP style terms, really easy. Credentials are also often a very large target, so we look for things like search terms that involve any credentials. In addition to that, you want to look at not just the types of things, not just the search terms that they're using, not just the documents that they're viewing, not just the stuff they're exporting, like not just the names of these things, not just the contents of these things, but also the frequency, the time of day. You want to know, like, hey, if this person was doing it 42 times a day or whatever the number is, or 28 times a day for 42 days, that's interesting, right? That's not normal behavior for somebody, even though it's a term that maybe wouldn't raise red flags initially. Also, understand what what are your sensitive terms that you care about, right? Outside of the normal things that you may care about, like credential level stuff and the like. Maybe you care a whole lot about the code signing process, and you might want to monitor for things like sign tool /L, right? As these are actual search terms here that we often see Scatter Spider, Lucre 3 use in environments, right? They want credentials, they want source code, they want to know about your security infrastructure. These are the types of terms that they search for. You should be looking for these types of things too. And oftentimes, it's not just they search one of these or your bad guy searches one sensitive thing. They're doing a whole bunch in a row. It's not just looking for that one term. It's often looking for in conjunction with other stuff too. To give you an idea, like cool, right? You can go detect when there's a sensitive search term that somebody's searching for. In this case, it's really boring one of looking for password. But and maybe that's not terribly interesting on its own. But when you see that in conjunction with the larger attack chain and realize that, man, this is the whole chain of things that occurred, and search terms were just one of those, right? In conjunction with everything else, makes a whole lot more sense. So, again, this is a kind of a soapbox I've been on for a long time. Last couple of years, every threat briefing I've given on Scatter Spider, the thing I always tell people is if somebody search AKA star in SharePoint and you don't know about it, you're doing something wrong, right? Search query performed is the event log. Go start looking for it. Look for these in all of your SaaS applications where you have that ability. So, all right, I know I spoke a little bit longer than I anticipated here, but yeah, go start looking for these search terms. Really fun stuff that you can go after. Hey, and just a side note, this works against the North Koreans, North Korean stuff that we've been seeing, right? As well. A lot of people from a detection stance are looking for like, oh, where's the cool KVM thing I should go check out? What particular KVM solution are they using? Remote KVM. Maybe we should go look for that. Cool, right? Because that's how they're accessing these environments. But maybe a better way to go after this is what do they do after they access the environment? They do the same stuff. Search terms. Look at your search terms. Look at the documents that are being viewed. Look at them being exported, and start getting an idea of what is abnormal for each identity in your environment based on that. So we put together a little article. Big thanks to Jared for throwing this together. Highly recommend taking a peek at this. And we again tried to like really stress the same type of stuff I was telling here. Enjoy. Thanks.